the epic final. Novak Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz. We saw it in Wimbledon, and we're going to get it at the US Open. He's going to be able to handle a situation in a Grand Slam final against Djokovic because he's beaten him in one. I'm going for Carlos Alcaraz.
The main man, the number 24, Novak Djokovic. US Open time, baby! Let's go! Goff could be our US Open champion.
3-set final in which Iga wins. Near on near impossible that Djokovic doesn't make the final.
Novak Djokovic claiming his 24th Grand Slam title. On the women's side, going past bingo.
No surprise here. I think that Novak Djokovic will win this year's US Open, and Coco Gauff is going to be the American that wins it on the women's side.
That Novak Djokovic will win this Grand Slam, beating Alcaraz in the final. I believe that Sabalenka is going to ace up this Grand Slam.
Sabalenka and Djokovic take it.
Novak Djokovic will have as many Grand Slams as there are hours in the day. Ons Jabeur is going to do it. I really believe. I think Ons has learned from her mistakes.
Novak Djokovic is going to win the US Open.
Aryna Sabalenka is winning her second Grand Slam. Carlos Alcaraz is going back-to-back. He's going to defend his US Open title.
Coco Gauff on home soil is taking home the cake. Gauff will win.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. It's quarter-final time, that's right. We've got the fourth round out of the way, and weren't there some epic matchups in that fourth round? Most notably, the last one of the entire fourth round, and it was Sasha Zverev versus Jannik Sinner. I mean, what a match that one was. 4 hours, 40 minutes. And as Zverev said in his own words, I guess I'm back. Yeah, he definitely is back. And he will be now facing none other than Carlos Alcaraz in the quarterfinal. You can see it there. And Carlos Alcaraz went through in straight sets against Arnaldi, the Italian. I thought that one was still had its moments that were quite tough for Carlos, but he came through. I mean, he was down, I believe, a break in one of the sets, but he never looked in doubt. And he's just one of those players right now. Only the best are going to challenge him. You're not going to get any worries when you come up against lesser opposition. And Alex Zverev is definitely a challenger. Most definitely. And this match, well, I thought it was incredible. Ended at 1:39 a.m. as well. And Jannik Sinner, got to take your hat off to him. I think that he gave a great performance. Just unlucky to have Zverev in his side of the draw, really. And he's denied to get his revenge on Carlos Alcaraz from last year. He will not be facing him. He goes out early, fourth round exit. And we have Zverev there again. And you see below here saying his past 3 appearances at Queen's. In 2020, got to the final. 2021, the semi-final. 2023, he's already into the quarterfinal. Maybe there's going to be another semi-final. If he can get past Carlos Alcaraz, I'll give my predictions at the end of this video. Well, this is a little statistic as well for Zverev. And this is Alexander Zverev's first Grand Slam win on hardcourt against a top 10 ranked opponent. Now that does make you wonder, doesn't it? I know he always had a little bit of a torrid time trying to get that win, but now is 2 wins to 13 losses on all surfaces, with his other win coming against his next opponent, Carlos Alcaraz at Roland Garros. That was in the quarterfinal. Timely, yes. This makes it even more interesting still. Is that good news if you're Carlos Alcaraz, though? I'm not so sure. I think that Jannik Sinner would have been a tough match as well. Neither match was going to be easy for either of these, or for Carlos Alcaraz. Either of those opponents can really, really trouble him. The last time they played was in Madrid. The last time they played at a slam was in the French Open. Yeah, obviously the last one that they played, Alcaraz absolutely blitzed him, and that was 6-1, 6-2, and that was in Madrid. I can't remember which round it was, though. I think it was the round, yeah, before the quarterfinals. Okay, so that was a yeah, 4th round. So I still think it's going to be tough, though. I feel like Carlos has improved. I feel that these courts, Zverev's starting to get the hang of them, though. And I think he really looked good against Sinner. Sinner was cramping towards the end of the match, towards the end of the 4th set, really, the one that he won. But Zverev just comes through. He's got one of the best gas tanks. He's got one of the best athletic bodies on the tour. And he definitely took it to Sinner. And could he now challenge Carlos Alcaraz? He has the weapons to do so. Moving on to some of the other quarterfinalists. We've got 2 that are going to be meeting each other in the next quarterfinal, which is Daniil Medvedev versus Andrey Rublev. And you see them here. I mean, and they're with another of the quarterfinalists from the women's side, Yelena Ostapenko there. Don't they all look nice? So fresh-faced, and it's got a nice top on there. I think Rublev's still wearing the same outfits, but and Ostapenko's ones, they might still fit her as well. She's not grown much taller than that now. Daniil, though, looking smart. He's got a little collar on the shirt there. But to speak about these 2, obviously they know each other so well. Both Russians, and Rublev, obviously the godfather to Medvedev's daughter. So there's, well, somebody he obviously loves as a person and a very, very close friend. But Rublev trying to finally win a Grand Slam quarterfinal. He's lost all 8 that he has played. And Medvedev leads the head-to-head 5-2, including 2 wins in Grand Slam quarterfinals, which is not a good statistic if you are Andrey Rublev. But Andrey Rublev did have a very good performance against an informed Jack Draper. That's now 3 out of 3 wins for Rublev against Draper. He did lose the second set to Draper, which credit to Draper for grabbing a set. But still the questions are there. Can Draper really last in a 5-set match? I still think he needs to go back to the drawing board, maybe put a little bit more work in the training room, getting the strength conditioning, because he was looking like he was cramping in the 4th set. And you need to go for a full 5, really, and have to do it on a regular basis over the course of a slam. I'm not sure his body's up to it yet, but it doesn't mean it won't be in the future. And yes, Andrey Rublev, as we just said, his 9th career Grand Slam quarterfinal. Great tournament for Jack, but hit the wall physically in the 3rd. Needs to stay healthy and have more match play. It's going to be an entertaining match. I mean, Rublev, Medvedev, full of drama, full of passion. I'll give you my prediction at the end on that one. We go down to the next one. We got Francis Tiafoe versus Ben Shelton. The battle of the Americans. In fact, the bottom half, it is 3 Americans and Djokovic. So if Djokovic goes through, guaranteed to play another American in the semi-final. Who will it be? Will he be able to get past Taylor Fritz? But let's speak about Tiafoe, Ben Shelton first. And I think Tiafoe not had a bad draw, to be honest. And same goes for Taylor Fritz. We'll get onto him in a second. And he played Tien first round straight sets. Offner straight sets. Manarino his toughest match, but the highest ranked opponent he had, who was a seed, and that was in 4. And then Hijikata, who was actually playing some inspired tennis for him, but still not a very high ranked opponent outside the top 100. But I'm sure he will be pushing inside after this US Open. Francis Tiafoe, I think he's just done what he has to, really. I don't think we can I can't really judge him too much. We can only judge him on the body of work that he's put out. I think he's been solid, but I expected him to win all of those matches anyway. Against Ben Shelton, well, Ben Shelton, you can see his route. He's slightly tougher, I'd say. I mean, if Team hadn't been sick, that would have been a real entertaining one. Maybe he got off a little bit there. I mean, he got through cash-in 4. Team was in a sort of a walkover after he had already taken the first set. Karatsev, that was quite a tough one. Got through him after weathering the storm in 4. And then Tommy Paul in 4. I thought, wow, I had Paul in my semi-final. Ben Shelton, he's turning up. And Tommy Paul, one of those players on tour who can actually beat Carlos Alcaraz. So not many players can say that they've done that in their career so far. Maybe Shelton can be one of them in the future. But Ben Shelton sort of juggling everything in this tournament. And he's juggling the mixed doubles as well. 3 down, 2 to go. And he will be playing in the semi-final. It's their 3rd consecutive straight set win as well. So they're not just going through, they're going through in style. So Taylor Townsend, Ben Shelton, keep an eye out for them. Could he make the semi-finals in both? Maybe there even could be a final for him at the US Open this year. On which side, though? And last but not least, we have Novak Djokovic versus Taylor Fritz. And we know the head-to-head. It's 7-0 in favour of Novak Djokovic. And this one is a stat talking about shot quality in their matchup in their last 2 meetings. And Fritz delivered a great serving performance at the Nitto ATP Finals, forcing 2 tie-breaks. However, Djokovic raised his game to win both. Sort of a tie-break master, Djokovic, including returning at a 9.3 in the second set tie-break to take the match. In Cincinnati, Djokovic showcased his dominance in the forehand matchup with a shot quality rating of 9.4. I mean, he did look unplayable, Djokovic, in that match, to be fair to Fritz. But I mean, the first set, he bageled him. I mean, it was so one-sided. I've not seen Fritz so dominated by anybody in quite some time. So it was impressive to see. Fritz had a 6.2 for his shot quality. Average forehand 74 miles an hour. Djokovic at 78. And you can see the stats there on the screen. You can digest those yourself. The forehand jumping off the page for Djokovic and the serve jumping off the page for Taylor Fritz. But as you can see, the serve really dropped down in Cincinnati. He's going to need all of that serve coming in to the quarterfinal. And I don't think Fritz has really played anybody big. I mean, Steve Johnson, 205 in the world. Varillas, 74, but really a clay court player. Mensik, I mean, just having an incredible run as a youngster, 17-year-old, 206 in the world, and then Stricker, 128 in the world. So he's got all the way to the quarterfinals, and his best player was outside the top 70. I mean, I'm not saying that Djokovic has had it a lot harder, but I feel that just the Laszlo Djere match was probably a really tough one, and Bornagoyo sort of surpassed his own expectations, I think, getting to the 4th round. Djokovic can handle these players because it's probably too big an occasion for them. But let's get to my predictions for these quarterfinals. Let's go through those now. I'll bring up the graphic again. Here we go. And I'm going to start off with Carlos Alcaraz versus Sasha Zverev. Well, last time they played in a Grand Slam quarterfinal, Zverev got the better of him. It was on clay. Alcaraz was a little bit more fresh then. It wasn't this year where he's looked maybe his most menacing, Carlos Alcaraz. I think that Alcaraz is going to win this one in 4 sets. I think that Zverev will get either the first or the second set, and then Alcaraz will overpower him. I think that the movement, I think that he's going to frustrate him. I feel that he's going to get too many balls back in the court. The ones that he wasn't used to seeing come back from the likes of Jannik Sinner. And that is going to be enough to force errors out of Zverev. And I think we're going to see some moments of magic as well from Carlitos. I mean, it's nearly guaranteed, isn't it, every time he steps out of there. Medvedev versus Andrey Rublev. Will the curse be broken for Andrey Rublev? He's lost all 8. He's lost 2 to Daniil. I'm not sure the curse will be broken, but I think we might see a very close match. I'm going to be going for Daniil Medvedev to win this in 5 sets. Call me crazy. I want to know your predictions in the comment section as well. Tell me if you agree or disagree. I want to hear all of your predictions. That one, I feel it's going to be Rublev may come out fast. I feel that Medvedev has been susceptible to early sets being dropped. He may even go 2 sets behind and come back, which is going to be a crushing blow for Andrey Rublev. But that's how I see it going. I feel over the distance, Medvedev will outlast him. And then we've got Tiafoe versus Shelton. They've never played before, so it's going to be an entertaining one. 2 Americans. The crowd are rocking. The last match on the night session. I mean, this one is anybody's. Is the moment going to be too much for Ben Shelton? I don't think so. I'm going to go with JG on this one, and I'm going to be going Ben Shelton to defeat Frances Tiafoe, also in 5 sets. I think that this one's going to be a long one, and the crowd are going to really get their money's worth. And Shelton's serve, I think, is going to be the one thing which gets him out of trouble. And I don't think that we're going to see a 2 sets to love lead on this one. I feel it's going to be pretty level pegging. 1 set, another 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, and then Shelton just takes the final set. Maybe it could even be on a tie break. I don't know, just for extra drama. And then we move down to the bottom one. Taylor Fritz, Novak Djokovic. I said it about Goff and Iga. Goff lost 7 out of 7 on the 8th. She got it right. Maybe it's 8-time lucky for the Americans. But there's part of me that just feels that Djokovic on the court, he's beaten Fritz, and the best performance that Fritz has ever had against Djokovic, in fact, I think it's the only sets he's won against him, was at a slam at the Australian Open. And there's part of me that thinks that that is the reason that Taylor Fritz may turn up and be serving well. I think he gets 2 sets, but I think Djokovic still wins in 5. So I've got 3 of the quarterfinals going to 5 sets. Do you call me crazy? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think there are going to be 3 5-set matches? I want to hear your thoughts. But if you haven't already, hit a like and subscribe and join us for all the quarterfinals. They're all coming up later.